All right, we're about to get the new supporter mechanic announced on the 12th here, and we're about to see it probably implemented on the 13th. So, thought it was a good time to update the tier list before we got like a massive update to the game. Also, I haven't updated the list since the Saiyan Saga, units came out. So, thought it was a good idea to update it. Right? It's a good idea. This is going to be based on my experiences. I've hit God rank the past 4 PvP seasons. So it's not like God rank is super hard to hit. I think it's far from it. But what God rank is, it's a commitment. It's a grind. It's something that you have to put time into. And, when you're putting time into something, it means you're just going to gain more experience than, I guess, most people. Because God rank, it's still an investment you have to put your time into to hit, right? Like I played for 4 hours if you didn't see my previous God rank grind video, but I played for 4 hours straight. Like that's kind of the commitment I had for getting the God rank. So I think my opinion is it's validated by the fact that I've played for a long time in this meta. With that being said, I'll start with the honorable mentions and then we'll go from top down. That way, it's easier for me to actually get my thoughts out, and then also the bottom spots are specifically influenced by the top spots here. All right, with that being said, let's start up. I'm going to throw Cell and Ultra Hit here. You're going to notice a trend from top down, but the way I've ordered the list is just, it's based on how well units can actually tank. Because every unit here, including like Hit and Cell, I think can do pretty solid damage. But the difference between like the top spots and these lower spots is just, you know, Hit and like Cell, especially Cell, man. Cell will just die in a card. It doesn't matter. Like you can't really run Cell and just hope that Cell doesn't die. Like Cell can do a lot with the ult. He can go type neutral, maybe kill UI Goku effectively. I mean, Namek Goku's in the meta. You can probably blitz him really easily, but even still, even with all its offensive prowess that Cell is, he's still a victim. Let's be 100% honest here. And this is true for every single character who's dropped before the part 1 of Anniversary, but the amount of damage guard increased since Anniversary has just been astronomical. And it's going to be a little bit of tangent, but it's kind of Majin Vegeta's fault. Do I even have him on this list? I don't know where he is. But it really just is Majin Vegeta's fault, and it's simply just because the way stats work or rather power creep works in the game. Yeah, there he is. The way it works is that stats are everything. If you don't hit hard, if you can't tank, you are worthless. Then, if you can at least do that, then it becomes mechanics. And Majin Vegeta has essentially every single annoying get out of jail free mechanic in the game, to where if they didn't power creep stats, this guy would be good forever. Like let's get out of the way. Unless every character is an endurance, it's like literally, if every if every character is not just Ultra Cell, like a melee variant of Ultra Cell, who just nullifies endurance completely, has card destruction immunity, AoE green card immunity, has the transforming green Vegito blue effect where they're just completely immune to, unless they create characters tailor made to deal with Majin Vegeta, like this guy's invincible with the, pre-anniversary, like stat wise. Like it was just impossible to phase this guy out. And that's why they had to do it. And unfortunately, because of that byproduct, a lot of these characters from the earlier half of this year have just bit the dust. And that's kind of where I think these two come in. Like, I think they can shine. I think there are moments where you can make them look really, really good. But 9 times out of 10, if they're caught, they're just gonna die. And you're not really gonna you're not gonna have fun with that. Let's be real here. You're not. That's gonna happen to you. You're gonna complain. You're like, oh my god, this character does nothing. He just dies. I can't use him. Like that's what it feels. It feels miserable. You know what I mean? All right, that's honorable mentions. I still think that they're really good. It's just they'll die in a card. That's the TLDR there. All right, I'm pretty sure no one's surprised by this, but number one, is gonna be Frieza and Goku. People are not gonna be surprised about the Frieza placement, but maybe Goku. You look at Twitter, Legends Twitter, and you will be told, everyone will tell you that Frieza is the most disgusting character ever created. People who use him should be jailed. They don't shower. They get no bitches. They don't know how to talk to women. They're absolutely abhorred natures of creature. You know what I mean? Or creatures of nature. That's what Frieza is described like on Twitter. But do people just not understand how busted Namek Goku is? Like, okay, you run Frieza Saga, right? And like, Frieza Saga is still the best team in the game. But what makes Frieza Saga so disgustingly OP isn't the fact that Frieza is just comboing you forever with the nasty death beam. It's Namegoku's sustainability. And okay, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. People are gonna be like, "What? No, the death beam is single-handedly the most toxic ability in the game." All right, buddy, shut up. I've played through a lot of toxic shit in this game. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here. I'm gonna try to keep this short. But I've played through a lot of metas where shit is toxic. Let me just pull up a few. No, yeah, like okay, 5th anniversary, Goku and Frieza, like that shit was dog shit. Let's just go through right some of the few things. 6th anniversary meta. I think that meta was worse than this one. Like literally, the first 25 counts of the Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta meta did not matter. The first 25 counts did not fucking matter. The moment Gogeta's ult was active, you throw that bitch and someone dies. Unless you have Evil Boo into Majin Buu Saga, so like Evil Boo into Ultimate Gohan or Zenkai Kid Buu, or Gogeta's Gauge Up, there was no way of living that ult. Straight up, there was nothing that could live that ult. Let's see. I mean, the UI Goku meta with Goku Bardock and Pikkon, that shit was dog shit. Like, I've had yeah, dude, like, Find from Cooler Beast Gohan. I hate this character. Fucking, these guys came out, this whole Zenkai meta around here. I mean, yeah, like, Vegito Blue, a lot of people point to. Yeah, OG movies. Do you know how bad these 3 were? Like, you didn't, if you don't know how bad this trio was, just don't even speak to me. Like, dude, you think Frieza was bad? This Gohan, what is his main? 15 counts. You know, then he transforms, you just lose a character. This guy literally comes in, spams his entire hand. Literally, he'll spam his entire hand. Then 5 counts will lapse. You're still locked in. This nigga gets a blue card and he kills you. There's no counterplay to this. You can't, you just implode. I mean, anyways, I just wanted to say that, like, there have been more toxic, like, okay, toxicity is definitely a subjective thing. But I don't know, I guess it's just maybe a me thing. But I'm used to long combos at this point. Now, the only meta where I've like actually despised a long combo meta was simply when Majin Vegeta transforming Super Saiyan Blue Vegito and transforming Super Saiyan 3 was meta. Literally because you got touched once and someone was going to die. That they would combo literally infinitely. And that is where I was like, yeah, I'm drawing the line. This is unplayable because it literally was. If you got touched once, if you lost one interaction, you were guaranteed losing a character, and that's not fun. That's not fun. With that being said, I think Frieza's Death Beam is a very toxic mechanic. A short animation, long range combo, starting green card is just, it's dumb. Like, we can agree, it is a stupid ability, and it shouldn't be in the game. I will agree with you on that 100%. But I still think you can play around it. I think there are definitely moments where it's like, if you don't have advantage, then like you just lose, and that's like absolute dog shit. But like, we literally have Tierlist in the game, who, if you were down to one character and you didn't pop his comeback, you lost the game. Like, we've had these like really, really stupid abilities where it's like, you didn't do it, like, you didn't play around it properly, even though you couldn't really play around it the entire match. You just lose. All right, cool. Like, we've had so many mechanics like that. And I don't think Frieza is exempt from that, but I think there have been worse to where I see the outrage on Twitter and I'm like, I get it, but I don't think it's that bad. You know what I mean? Like there definitely are ways of playing around it. But I will agree with you. It is stupid and it's just simply one of the best mechanics in the game. But I think KO guard is better. I do. I do. I think KO guard is the best mechanic in the game. Why do I think that? It's simple. You look at every team that is not involving Frieza, and you see Namekoku. By far, in both climbs to God rank I've had, Namekoku is probably the most popular character I fought. And simply, it's just because Namekoku's KO guard it's the best. It's literally just the best mechanic in the game. Like, I don't think anything comes close to it. Like, while it's up, no one dies. You know what I mean? Like, as like, well, I was like, oh, duh, yeah, of course that's how the mechanic works. But like, no. No one dies. We're in a meta where like tanking isn't just being able to tank, but it's also being able to heal, right? The ability to go from 0 to 100 is super important. And Namekoku does that. Like if you had the KO guard by himself, it's probably not as strong. But you have to remember that this guy's gauge, when it fills up, it heals the team by like 25%. Do you know how stupid that is? Like I don't get it. Why people don't look at this guy and just they hate him. Like he's got a lock in. He's got one of the hardest hitting ults in the game. His blue card hits like a truck. He has an AoE green. Uh like he gains permanent endurance nullification when he comes in after his gauge is filled up a few times. He has a lock in. Like he makes the team invincible. Like do we not see how like defensive this guy really is for every single character in the meta, right? Like I don't think like okay. I think to deny Frieza's stupidity, his ignorance is a foolish thing to do. Like I think when I was creating the tier list, I was like, I think this might be the list. But after using Frieza for a little bit, and it's like you know, it's like you're like, no, this is stupid. You can't separate these two. But to say Frieza is leagues above Goku is insanity. The way that Namek Goku just he makes the team invincible, hits like a truck, and just has really strong neutral is just like, are we seriously gonna ignore this? Like, one of the best compositions I think is with Kaioken Goku and Saiyan Saga Goku, or like you know Namek Goku, Kefla, and Vegito, and like Namek Goku is the anchor. Like without Namek Goku, like just even without the KO guard, just even just without the 25% healing he gives the team, it's like it's significantly worse. Like, do we not understand how busted this ability is? It's it's super insane. I I look at Twitter and it's just like they'll make you believe that Frieza's like a spawn from the 9 circles. And Namekoku just doesn't exist. No one cares about him. Like I'm pretty sure everyone understands that he's good, but like no one complains about him. It's always just Frieza because I guess a lot of people deem long combos to be toxic. And it's, I guess, you know, the priority it has is also really toxic. But I look at it and it's just like you can't convince me. I see Namekoku essentially every fight. Maybe I'll see Frieza like, you know, once every, like, I'll see him, like, out of 5 matches, I'll see him in 4 matches or, like, 3 matches. But Namiko can survive 5 out of 5, and, like, it shows why. This guy is the best anchor, I think, ever. It's ridiculous. Like, I genuinely don't see why people just they don't hate this guy as much as they hate Frieza. Because what Namikoku brings to the table is just it's longevity. Like, you don't die if he's up. You know what I mean? And like, you really feel the impact he has. Like, you really start to miss it when you don't use him. Like, when I ran, I think it was Kaioken, Vegito, and Saiyan Psycho Goku. It's like, dude, without KO guard, I feel naked. It's that important of an ability. And then also, it's like when I'm getting beat up, I'm like, man, my team is super low HP. It's gonna be really, really hard to heal up. Yeah. All right. Moving on. I'm gonna put Kaioken at number 3. I'm gonna go a little bit shorter for these segments just because it's already 16 minutes, and I kind of want to save my my talking for a lot of the more controversial areas. I don't think anyone's gonna complain about Kaioken being 3. You know, really good damage, really good defenses. His equips are really massive. It's just this guy, really good numbers, really good tanking. Just a lot of sub count manipulation. I think that's a super really important part about this guy. You know, since long combos have been nerfed, you know, especially being able to lower your own sub count like that is super, super important. Really, really, really like, I like this guy. He's just he's the best tank I think we've seen in a long time. I think maybe except for Vegito. All right, number 4. I'm gonna throw Kefla here. I think, you know, initially using her, I was like, she's kind of dog shit. But then I arts boosted her. I got her on a team where she's kind of the more, you know, focal unit of the team, you know, and really built around her. And it's like, oh no, this character snapped. Like, this character's ridiculous. She has some of the highest damage in the game. Um, she has the like triple vanish mechanic where it's just, I really don't like that the way that mechanic works, just because, you know, you only have 3 vanishes, and sometimes you would rather just switch out or just like it feels wasted sometimes. But I'm not gonna sit here and deny that this mechanic is stupid. One of the ways I like to use this is just if someone spams Death Beam in neutral, you can go immediately, and they have to respect the you going immediately there. They have to respect it, otherwise they're gonna get caught. And this is again what I mean by like you can play around Death Beam, where there are certain characters and certain like interactions where the Death Beam isn't, I guess, absolute in a sense. Like, you can still PV it, you can still do things with it. Like, you can still vanish with Kefla and just go immediately, and a lot of people will just be caught off guard by it. Especially once this character gets rolling. Like, once 45 timer counts have elapsed and this character has like her entire buffs up. What is it? Yeah, right here. Once she has a 60% charge rate up, plus this health restoration, like, this character heals a lot. One thing a lot of people will notice is that she's not really the most tankiest of characters, and I think that's true, but she's super, super tanky. No. She can heal a lot. There we go. She heals a lot. She is always able to cycle in long combos, and the thing with her about long combos is it's not just the damage she can deal, but it's also the amount of health she can restore by doing these combos. And I mean, you know, this buff cancellation, super crazy. Uh the amount of like, what should I call it? The protection she has against Frieza's disrupt. I didn't even talk about Frieza's disrupt. This disrupt is disgusting. Like, who designed this? Whoever designed this disrupt, no, this disrupt is probably the worst part about this Frieza. You get a combo start on this Frieza, he just removes all your ki and all of your like cost goes to 50 bajillion. You can't combo this nigga. But like Kefla comes out and it's just like she can actually deal with it. You know what I mean? I think Kefla is super, super, like, super good. She also has a projectile blue card with feint, so like you can drop for a reset and just do crazy reset damage. The feint is just stupid annoying, right? Like, this character is super, super good. I think a lot of the community just kind of like come to the consensus that she just is this good. But again, her banner is terrible, so a lot of people just don't have her, and I understand why, you know. Yeah, but I think Kefla is just a super super insane character. Number five, I'm gonna throw Vegito up here. Vegito is a character who is kind of here just to tank hits. He's probably the most tanky character here outside of Kaioken. This guy, I mean, dude, you really do feel a difference. I think it is a night and day difference when you have slot 4 up compared to slot just no slot 4. You can run him without the slot 4, but the most important thing about this character is that when you have this plus this, like the important thing about Vegito is to cycle in the heal as much as possible. And that's where the sub count manipulation comes in clutch. Like this sub count lowering without it, like he doesn't feel as good because he's not able to come in as fast. And if he's not able to come in as fast, he's not able to hit them with, you know, this extra HP that he gets back. And cycling the heal with Vegito is super, super important because he's super tanky. So just keeping his HP up is super important. On top of that, this disrupt is just like without it, you're kind of letting the opponent combo you. You know what I mean? Like this +3 to enemy sub count, it's super annoying to deal with actually. Like there are many, you know, like Frieza I think is one character who can kind of bypass this, but there aren't that many characters who can just, you know, have Vegito come in, survive this, you know, minus key reduction, plus the sub count reduction, so they can't switch and then get more key back. Plus, you know, this guy has all of this like shenanigans of like HP and super tanky, and it's super super insane as to what this guy can actually do, right? I think the one thing I am negative about is I guess two things. One, this guy doesn't have any debuff immunity. So when you're specifically fighting Frieza, it's super, super hard to combo against him. And also the fact that his cover null is not very guaranteed. And it's kind of finicky. But I think other than that, the way to use his gauge, you just kind of want to dump it whenever you can. Um, I think the gauge it's not really meant for like, you know, damage. It's good to buy time with. Other than that though, it's just I think it's a really solid tank. He can do good damage. His ult still hits like a truck from when it was in fourth anniversary era. Like, I think this guy, his glow up is super nice. I really enjoy what he's able to bring to the table. But and here's the thing, like a lot of these characters here are significantly worse without Namek Goku. That's just a true statement. Like Vegito feels 10 times stronger with Namek Goku, just as his ally. That's a factual statement. Namek Goku just makes Vegito like 10 times stronger than like he should be. Number 6, probably a very controversial spot, but I'm gonna put Fiku here. I think at this point, like when you look at this list here, you're pretty much gonna want to build your team around these 5 characters. So having a character who's A, super tanky, B, is actually gonna be able to survive a few hits from full power Frieza. Yeah, this guy, full 14 stars, full defensive equips, plus defensive arcs boosting. He's not paper mache to Frieza. I think that's the one thing where I look at this Goku and I'm like, oh, like you can actually survive a few hits. Like, yeah, very, very, very good. I like that. On top of that, he's able to give like monster support to the team. Just again, I think it's really underrated how important it is to just have a character who can absorb hits. Everyone, I think, here, with the exception of 2 characters, can do good damage. But the ability to eat hits is a rare thing. And I think I'm going to prioritize that over whatever these other characters down here can do. Because you're going to be running these 5 characters pretty much no matter what. So am I going to bring another mediocre damage character, or am I going to bring a character who can, you know, elevate them, who can help sustain the team, who can help make these characters up here shine better? I'm going to pick this guy. I would rather run Fiku. I think it just makes more sense to do that. Next up, I'm going to throw Saiyan Saga Vegeta here. I actually do think that you can, you know, move these guys around, but I think the difference between Saint Seiya Vegeta and like this Riku is, first of all, this Goku is a Goku, so you have access to the Kakarot Goku bench. On top of that, I have noticed that this Vegeta, he's not exactly the tankiest of characters. Uh, I think it just does boil down to this guy is very slow. He's a slow character. Um, you look at the gauge, right? And he's able to stack 30% damage guard. But in order to get this to like trigger completely, uh, it's gonna take a long time for it to happen. And I think this is it's right here where a lot of his good buffs are locked behind the gauge popping. And you look at Kefla, right? I think Kefla would be significantly worse if she didn't have this charge increase rate, you know? Wait, no, it's right here. If she didn't have this unique gauge charge rate increase, I think Kefla would be significantly worse. And I look at Vegeta, and like because he doesn't have any way of, farming this up just to get this up as fast as possible, you really feel the amount of damage this guy eats. You know what I mean? I definitely do think that his combo potential pre-transformation, or rather pre-revival, is really good. But I think at this point, I would rather this guy just instantly revive and just have the better stats, just have the better modifiers, you know? That's kind of what I feel like I want this character to do at this point. Once like I'd rather have him just instantly revive and just start having the unique gauge charge up. Cause again, also just the fact that his disrupt is tied to it, like it just makes him, I feel, a little inconsistent. I think he's good, especially with something like this up. The Omni, save tech, super, super good to have. But I again, it's just, you look at all of these characters up here, and what do they do better than Vegeta? They tank better. And I think I prioritize that over anything of what Vegeta is able to do. Again, especially with KO Guard in the meta, Revive loses some of its luster. I think it does. Number 8, I think this is where I'm going to put UI Goku. I think UI Goku's still good, but, his gauge has definitely lost a lot of impact, value. Value, I think is the word I want to use here. Due to, Frieza being ignorant, Overdrive being a thing, the Overdrive kick, being able to bypass his gauge completely. I think he's not as good, but I think the good thing about having the Death Beam, about having the Overdrive kick in the game, is it allows, or it's supposed to entice you as a UI Goku player to not rely on the gauge as your sole defensive mechanic to buy time. You're supposed to kind of use it as kind of like a, what do I say? Like if you lose a 50-50 by taking a risk, you can use it to kind of like not lose the 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you make someone vanish, with like taps or something, like a single tap, and you don't think they're gonna attack you immediately, right? And you kind of like glide just to make sure that if they do sidestep, you can punish them, but if they go immediately, you still have the gauge to fall back onto. And then you can like vanish, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to use the gauge as just kind of like a fail safe in case you lose a 50-50 interaction. And I think that's where it shines the best. Obviously, you can still use it to like buy time against cards, but with these like, mechanics that like bypass the gauge, you're supposed to kind of use the gauge in a more proactive way of just like, defending yourself against a 50-50 interaction. But definitely, I do think that being a blue character against Frieza doesn't help. Kefla is still super good. Like, there's a lot of green characters in the meta right now. It's kind of hard to make use of UI Goku. He's also not the tankiest character anymore. He's a victim to the Death Beam. It is what it is, right? But I still think he is a super, super good character. And you can still definitely win games with him. Number 9, Krillin. A lot of people are just gonna be like, why Krillin? I don't think Krillin is like a tank at all, but Krillin, I think, is just what allows these two characters on Frieza Saga to be good. Like he's that perfect puzzle piece character that like Evil Boo was when Majin Buu Saga was super super good last year. Just that perfect cookie cutter puzzle piece character that just fulfills all the roles that you're looking for from a banner unit that just like elevates the two main characters to newer heights compared to like okay, would you rather run Krillin or run Cell? Like Krillin is tankier than Cell. Krillin makes these two characters better, and he's gonna have more of an impact. Like he's a support character, and like that's where I value that more than what Cell and like Kid are doing. Remember, I think the top 5 is the core of the PvP meta right now. Like a Z, like okay, this is Z plus tier. This is like Z tier, and then everything under that is like support. You know what I mean? Like characters to help elevate these 5 characters do their thing. What does Krillin do? He allows these 5 characters, specifically these 2 characters, because you're not really running him off of Frieza Saga, right? But he allows these 2 characters to go even crazier, and I think I value that more than like having a UI Goku or having a Vegeta. But Krillin himself is such a dog shit character that like I think these guys are just a better character, if that makes any sense. I think his impact is super strong, but like it's not. He himself is not better than these characters over here to like elevate him. But I still think you don't want to sleep on Krillin. You definitely have to understand the amount of impact and value he gives to these two. Where it's like, yeah, I'd rather run Krillin over than like literally everything here. And to be honest with you, that's probably where my list would have ended. But like, I was like, well, we'll make it a top 10 list, whatever. I'll throw this guy up here. And I did mention this before with Frieza's partner of just like being able to bypass endurance, but this Frieza being able to bypass the endurance that this Vegito has is a super good counter actually to Ultra Vegito, just because you get through the KO guard as fast as possible by like dumping an ult or something, just kill someone really quickly with this Frieza, and then you can just rush someone. It's open. I think the support he gives the full power Frieza is still really good. But I look at him and it's just like he's an A tier option. I think. I think this area right here is where I would like make S tier. And like I think Frieza's good. This full power Frieza's good, but like he needs cover and all. Like consistent cover and all. I also don't think he has enough mechanics to kind of like survive the upper echelon here. He does a lot, but he doesn't do enough, if that makes any sense. And I think that's where I have the list kind of structured. I also do think that this Frieza is kind of tanky, but like, I've had this Frieza be victim to Namek Goku's KO guard. By the way, if you've noticed, every single character here, besides this Frieza, fits on a team with Namek Goku comfortably. And this is what I mean by I think the KO guard is a better mechanic than the Death Beam. Because the KO guard makes every single character here, from 3 to 9, better. Maybe except for Krillin, because you kind of want Krillin to die. But like, having Krillin die insta is not a good idea. Like, the extra vanish he provides, the extra healing he provides, it's so valuable. You can't throw that away. You don't throw that away to make Krillin like a very valuable character. You don't throw that away. You don't. You do not throw that away. With that being said, I kind of want to try to make these like videos a lot shorter, because like it's really tiring to make tier list videos. It really is. But also it's a yap fest. You know what I mean? With that being said, though, I know a lot of you guys are gonna hate me for saying that the Death Beam is just not as good as like Twitter will make it out to be. I think it's a stupid ability, but they're just there's counterplay to it. You can't convince me that like KO guard is just not the best mechanic in the game. Paired with, I guess I'll say this, paired with the 25% healing that Namek Goku gives. I mean, even without it though, it's like so many of these characters are so tanky. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, giving Kaioken a second life mechanic is stupid. Giving Kef like a second life mechanic is stupid. Giving Vegeta 3 lives is stupid. Giving Frieza 3 lives is stupid. He is the anchor that makes this meta what it is. You will see this guy a lot more than you'll see Frieza. Swear to God. Swear to God, I've seen Namekoku a lot more than I've seen Frieza in my climb. Twice to God rank. But yeah, let me know how much you guys hate me in the comments below. Or if you actually agree with me that, you know, Namekoku is just as busted as this Frieza is. Again, Frieza is one of the best characters in the game. I don't think it's enough to separate him from Goku, but I think there is a gap between, Frieza and Goku and the rest of the game. Like that's why there's no 2 here. You know what I mean? There is a gap between these 2 and then the rest of the game. All right. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, if you guys hate me or what, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Yeah. Bye.